Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shin Kim. This is the class of the Christian Apologetic. Today my topic is problem of evil or problem of suffering. Yeah, even though we living in our life, sometimes there is a good thing happen to you, and maybe your life is full of happiness and love. But unfortunately, frankly speaking, our whole life is covered with a lot of evil and suffering, okay? Unfortunately. So why there is so many evil in this world? Or why sometimes bad thing happen to me? And even though I try to do my best, but there is why so many suffering in my life? That's actually our question. Sometimes you are doing your best and you are doing good, but unfortunately, bad thing. Sometimes your family actually members sometimes die because of some accident, and sometimes we got some kinds of disease, okay, unpredictable disease, and even though I'm doing nothing bad, okay, but such as accident actually happened to me, happened to you, happened to your family. So why? How can we understanding about the problem of evil and suffering in our life? Yeah, good thing, sometimes good thing happen to us, but sometimes evil thing happen to us. And why cannot we just get along? Why sometimes bad thing happen to us, even though we are doing well. Even actually, I'm following the law and I'm doing good job and I'm innocent person. But why sometimes bad thing happen to me? So we have a lot of question about this issue. This is not only the Christian apologetic question, but this is also philosophical question and your life question, okay? Why do better things happen logically? And relating to God, if God does exist, if God actually alive, why does he permit evil? Why bad thing happen to me? Why God allowed bad thing happen to me? So if God does exist, why does he permit innocent people to suffer? Yeah, sometimes when we look around us, actually, sometimes good person suffer, okay? Uh, Frankly speaking, uh, maybe bad person uh, who committed a lot of sin, they live better than us sometimes. Why? So sometimes we feel that it's unfair. So many unfair in our life. So how do we understand good and evil in our life? So we can, you can, if I can raise a lot of questions about me, okay, about my life. Frankly speaking, I'm not criminal, okay. I didn't commit any crime, okay, through my whole life. I try to live honest and I wanted to try to be a good person. But when I look at my life and other person's life, someone who did a better thing, they get more money, they get more richer, and it seems like they have a better life than me. So sometimes even me, I sometimes I raise a question about that issue. What is goodness? What is evil? Why better person better life than me? Better life than the innocent good person? Why? So even I raise those kinds of questions. So long time ago, when I live in New Jersey at the time, one day, September 11, at the time I was in the classroom, and suddenly the September 11, some kind of terrorist attack, and so many innocent person die in the World Trade Center. Okay, so many people die because of these kinds of terrorism. Okay, And even recently in Turkey, there are a big earthquake. Okay, so many people die because of earthquake. And now there is a big war between the Ukraine and Russia. So many people die. So many soldiers die. Sometimes they are bombing on the village and just the civilian. They are not soldiers, but many of them died. Why such a thing happened? If God really alive, God exists, how did not actually God prohibit them? Why did God actually protect them, protect the innocent person? Why such a bad thing to happen to the good people? So we can raise a lot of questions. Even still, yeah, sometimes, yeah, I raise that question. When I was a child at the time, my father actually, he is honest person. And but I witnessed that even though my father is good and he supports other person, he helps other person a lot, but his financial situation get worse because he borrowed so much money to the person who asked. My father is good. He is a extremely good person who borrowed the money. But other person who borrowed the money from my father, they get rich, but they never pay back. But my father, unfortunately, his financial situation got worse. So yeah, there are a lot of actually goodness and badness actually a question when I live even yeah, I lived more than 50 years. But as you know, yeah, unfortunately, those kinds of disaster sometimes happen to you, happen to your family. So why? So even yeah, the Times, magazine Times actually dealing with the issue of the science, good and evil. One make us moral, good deed, good health, understanding, and dark side. Why there is such kinds of dark side, and many of you are familiar to Hitler. He actually murdered 6 million, not 6%, okay, not 6%, not 60, not 600, not 6,000. He actually murdered more than 6 million Jewish people. Actually, he is the source of the empire of the evil, okay, evil. There are such kinds of evil person throughout the human history, unfortunately. So, again, if God alive, if God exists, why did not actually God prohibit Hitler, okay? Before Hitler actually murdering 6 million person, why did not God actually kill actually Hitler? Why God allowed 6 million Jewish people die? They are innocent person because of one evil person. Why such many people actually should die? Why God allow it? If really God alive, why He allow this one? So we can raise a lot of questions. So even though this class is dealing with the Christian apologetic means they are prove God, prove, okay, prove there is God, okay, God exists, prove that. But this kind of a problem of evil and suffering problem actually raise a lot of question that the existence of God raise a question. If God alive, why such a bad thing happened to the human history? So that actually issue is the some more professional vocabulary is teleological argument. Teleological argument, okay? According to the Bible, God created every substance. Yeah. Whenever we read the Bible, especially the book of Genesis, actually God created in the beginning, God created the whole thing, okay? Whole thing in the universe. So God is good and maybe His creature is good. But why bad thing? Why there is evil? So our question is that did God created evil? Maybe answer is no. God never created any evil. But why evil exists? We know that God is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. benevolent being. That means that God knows everything. God knows everything. God is everywhere. And God is love. Okay? God is love. We know that about that. Whenever we read the Bible, yeah, we recognize that God knows everything. Even God can know about my mind. Even I have a deep secret. Nobody knows it. But God knows about that because God is omniscient. He knows everything. And God is everywhere, omnipotent. Okay? He is everywhere. In the sea, under the sea, even under the mountain, everywhere. Wherever we go, God is there. And omnibenevolent, that means God is good. God is a loving God. So if we know that God as such a person, He knows everything, He is everywhere, and He is a loving God. So why there? But our question is that why there is evil? Why there is suffering? So the existence of God is incompatible with evil suffering. How a loving God allowed such kinds of evil and suffering? So usually many philosophers agree that why did not God do better? We raise a question. Why God do you allow the earthquake? Why God do you allow the war? Why God do you allow a tsunami? Why God do you allow such many people die because of natural disaster? Why? Why did not God do better? Why did not God protect us? So many philosophers actually raise that question, and their answer is because there is no God. There is no God. That's why there is evil. There is no God. There is so much suffering in this world. That's actually philosophical answer about teleological argument. Okay, so usually, yeah, philosopher. That's why many philosophers and scientists, many logical person, they reject the existence of God, and they never believe in God. Okay, they cannot accept such a God. So their answer is that there is no God. So that's why so much suffering and bad thing happen to us. So usually when we are living in this world, actually it is said there is three categories of the evil. Number one is moral evil. It is manifest itself in the way humans choose or choose not to do some things. Little bit later, I'm gonna explain about with detail. Okay, human decide why there is murder, why there is a thief. You see there are some person who has the big money, and you follow him, and finally you hit him or her and steal the money. By accidentally, sometimes we kill because of the money. So it's your free will. Okay, you decide. Okay, your choice. Sometimes, yeah, that called actually moral evil. So yeah, around the world there are so many crime happen every day. There is some kinds of a crime. Okay, some people murder, some people steal, some people lie, so some people actually cheating each other. Okay, that is actually related to moral evil. Number two is natural evil. This is some kinds of natural disaster realized through natural disaster and human disease and sickness. So yeah, earthquake. One of the best example is earthquake. Yeah, this is not the actually because not happen. Okay, not happen because of a person. Okay, this is a natural choice. Okay, sometimes such a natural disaster happen to us. How about during this winter? There are so many raining in California. Okay, over 100 years for first time, so many raining. Because of raining, actually there is a flood, and sometimes the cliff collapsed, and such a bad thing actually happened to us. Even though there are many philosophers, they are not agree. They don't agree with about the supernatural evil. But according to the Bible, definitely there is a supernatural evil called devil or demon or Satan. Maybe many of you rejected the number three, supernatural evil. But many of you agree that there is moral evil and the natural evil. But many of the philosophers, logical persons, scientists, actually, they reject supernatural evil. But exactly the Bible is talking about supernatural evil. Definitely there is evil spirit. Evil spirit bring actually suffering to the human being. So a little bit later I'm going to talking about this issue. So number one is moral evil. It depends on your free will, okay? So God made human according to his image and likeness. Exactly. According to the book of the Genesis, actually, God created the human being, and he also created the human being according to his image and the likeness. But unfortunately, God gave some commandment to the Adam and Eve, but unfortunately Adam and Eve actually disobeyed. That means misuse of freedom, free will, okay? Some kind of a malfunction. Actually, God created them. God is the owner of the whole people, and God gave us some actually commandment to Adam and Eve. But unfortunately, they have free will, and they choose not to disobey God. They try to follow their instinction, their thinking, and they're gonna bring the misuse of freedom, and as a result, human being become a sinner. So sometimes freedom allowed the ability to act contrary to the good purpose of God. Yeah. How about you? Yeah. You have your parents, and how about your childhood? Are you a good son or a good daughter? Or sometimes you rebel against your father and your mother. Yeah, maybe most of you are doing the both of them. Sometimes, yeah, in your mind, I want to be a good son, good daughter, but sometimes you disobey your father and mother. Okay, so sometimes freedom has two sides. Okay, sometimes freedom allows the ability to act contrary to the good purpose of parents. Okay, but in your mind, I know you want to be a good son and daughters. Okay, exactly the same thing. Adam and Eve, actually, Adam and Eve, maybe in their mind, they wanted to be good follower of God, but unfortunately, one day they misuse their freedom and they choose not to follow God, okay? So humans utilize free will to choose disobedience to God and over following God's path. So that's why they called actually original sin, okay? And because of the original sin, all human beings become sinners. We in our deep heart, we always try to rebel against God, rebel against our parents, rebel against our high officer, okay? So that called actually moral evil, okay? Already in our mind, yes and no, good and bad. We struggle between actually goodness and badness. Sometimes we choose to follow goodness, but sometimes we follow the badness, even though we know that that is crime, but we doing that one. Okay, that it is actually depends on your free will. And every person is separate from God and spiritually dead. Yeah, according to the Bible, because of the sin of the original sin of the Adam and Eve, and every person, everybody actually coming from, we are descendant of Adam and Eve, and we become this, actually we inherited original sin deep in our mind. We are the sin, okay? We committed the sins. Humans in humanity, in the case of rape, murder, and genocide, constitute moral evil, okay? We rape, okay? We have a sexual desire. And if you married, or you have girlfriends or boyfriends, maybe you have a sexual relationship according to your free will, okay? But rape is the crime. If they don't want to, they reject you, but you force him or her and abuse sexually. That called actually rape. Rape is a serial crime. But there is so many rape around the world, especially warfield. There is war, and the enemy conquered our area. All the soldiers start rape all women. That thing really happened, okay? And the murder. Yeah, even there is a war between the Russia and Ukraine, and I heard that even the Russia actually fired a missile to the village, And even though they don't have any gun and they are civilian, normal person, they are not soldiers, but unfortunately, Russian army murder so many innocent person. That actually humans actually crime. Okay, that is moral crime, moral evil. That thing really happened. Genocide. So one of the best example is that Hitler. Hitler actually hates Jewish. That's why he actually murdered 6 million Jewish people. Those kinds of things is related to the moral evil. All evil, moral evil. Evil is sin or the punishment for sins. So we are doing such a thing, unfortunately. How about September 11? That is there is a struggle between the USA and some nation in East Asia, Iran and Iraq. Okay, they struggle. They have a political problem. And usually always the United States, USA actually support Israel. Okay, that's actually the enemy. Looks like the enemy of Israel is Iran and Iraq. Actually, from their perspective, USA is also their enemy. That's why we don't know what happened politically in between the USA and Iran and Iraq. Okay, but terrorists finally they coming to USA, especially New York, and they actually destroyed the World Trade Center, and thousands of people died. So this is related to the moral evil, human evil. Okay, there is car accident, there is war, and there is a lot of famine in some Africa and East Asia. Many people die. Okay, many people die over the shortage of the food. Okay, even though we are living in USA and food is sufficient, and moreover sometimes we throw out our food and we eat more, and even people getting fatter and fat and fatter, and but other part in third world, many people die over the shortage of the food. Okay, yeah, that actually looks like moral evil, human disaster. Okay, human disaster, and there are so many crimes, and even sometimes climate disaster. Okay, global warming. Global warming is also related to moral evil. Human actually doing. Okay, human destroy the nature. Human actually try to destroy the wood, mountain. They destroyed everything, remove every animals, and on that territory they building the house, and the human being actually conquer the nature, and the more human doing, actually animals and trees, they cannot survive. And because of their region, there is global actually warming, and because of that is deeply related to crime change, and finally we suffer because of that. So yeah, frankly speaking, natural disaster is deeply related to moral evil. Okay, so we are living in that such a world, unfortunately. So because of that actually moral evil, we actually some actually philosophers insist on moral balance. That is sin is punished as justice dictated. That, yeah, definitely there is crime. The policeman try to investigate and arrest the criminal. Okay, and sent to the jail. Really that thing happened. Okay, there is so many jails. Okay. So recently I heard that the USA government actually tried to release the person who actually committed a little bit light crime, okay, heavy crime like murdering, rape. They tried to arrest them and put in jail for their eternal life, for their whole life, but a little bit actually light crime. Stealing, okay, stealing some good actually. That is considered over light actually crime. But we know that as soon as we committed any bad thing, we murder somebody, we steal something, we lie, we cheating somebody, and that actually called fraud, sometimes crime. Okay, as soon as we break the law, actually we will be punished. So usually in the explanation about the moral evil, we explain about the justice. So that's why criminal, actually, they will be punished. Okay, we understand that. Okay, bad person receive punishment. Crime, actually, they should be sent to jail. We agree that even we are living in this world, and we never actually. I want to forgive you. I want to forgive you, but there is more jail because there is more crime and there is more criminal. Actually, we try to arrest and send to jail. That's why so many jails around us. Okay, so that's why sometimes moral evil actually exists as a contrast to goodness. Definitely there is some good person. Okay, they donated their money. They try to help the poor. They try to help the oppressed. They are good persons, but contrary to the good person, there is bad person. Okay, there is always crimes. Even we are living in California, there is a racial issue, and because of coronavirus, actually so many people hate Asian. Okay, actually they believe that Asians bring the coronavirus into the United States. That's why. So even there is some struggle between the white and the black. So that's why black matter. Okay. Whenever there is a racial issue, racial discrimination, they should be considered over the crime, and they should be arrested and should sent to jail. Yeah. Around the 20 or 30% of Asians actually they receive some racial discrimination because of coronavirus. Okay, how about you? Do you receive any actually discrimination because of you are Asian, you are black, or you are coming from other country? Do you other people actually treat you like that? Yeah. We at the time, what is your feeling? We feel uncomfortable, and we try to. There should be some justice in this world. Okay, justice. We want justice. That means if somebody discriminated according to my color and my nationality, we want him or her to be arrested and receive some punishment. They called moral balance. Okay, suffering punishment is for our goodness. We know that. Yeah. How about the serial killer going around you? How about serial rapist actually going around, living around you? What do you want to do? Maybe most of us actually police come and arrest them. Okay, so that's maybe our real actually life, and that's what actually we really want. That called, if there is some evil around us, actually we request some moral balance. Okay, they should be punished. They should receive crimes. Criminals, they must actually be arrested and be punished. That called actually moral balance. So when we dealing with the suffering and evil thing, according to the moral evil issue, actually we actually agree to the moral evil. Okay, because human freedom. Humans actually evil is doing some such bad things, and bad things should be punished. That's maybe many of you agree with that issue. And definitely there is a natural evil. Wow, look at the painting. There is a big earthquake, and there is big tsunami, and the tsunami actually destroyed the whole city. That's called the natural evil. Sometimes the feminine. Sometimes there is no raining. Okay, no raining. Too much raining. Okay, feminine. Because of that reason, whenever there is a drought, no raining, no food, no harvest, and many people die of the famine, okay, no food, okay, sometimes big flood, yeah, sometimes in California, sometimes fire, okay, there are big fire sometimes fire destroyed one whole city. So that called actually natural evil, okay? Flood and disease. How about the coronavirus? I'm not sure. I'm not scientist. So I don't know the exact origin of the coronavirus. But sometimes some people actually insist that they're coming from some laboratory in China or some market in China. But we don't know exactly about, okay? Sometimes some disease actually created by human, but definitely there is some kind of unpredictable disease, okay? This kind of famine, flood, and disease may be cited as natural evil or suffering. We know, we agree that. But as I said, recently, there is one of the best example, global warming. Global warming is because of human moral evil, okay? As I said, we destroy the nature, okay? We cut the tree. We actually remove the mountain. We actually throw out so many garbage. The whole world is covered with so many waste and garbage, okay? So those kinds of things actually destroy the whole actually earth, and because of that reason, actually there is a natural evil, natural disaster. But sometimes, yeah, that's not, some actually natural evil is not related to the human, okay? Sometimes the reason God allowed evil to exist is to demonstrate his righteousness. Especially we read the Old Testament. Sometimes there is some natural disaster, okay? So why God allowed such kinds of disease and natural disaster? Because God wanted to actually, I don't want to use this word, but God wanted to judge. God wanted to punish them because of their evilness. So sometimes, yeah, when we read the Bible, why there is natural evil in this world, and God showed his righteousness through his actually justice. One of the best examples is Noah's Ark. Whether you are Christian or non-Christian, when you read the Bible, especially the Noah's Ark, yeah, definitely the book of Genesis is described. Peoples are so evil, so God regret to create the whole universe. So that's why, including all human beings, in their mind, all their mind are evil. So God regrets. That's why God decided to remove all human beings from the earth. That's why there is 40 days, night and day and night. Actually, there is whole actually raining, and the whole earth was full of the water, and almost people died except Noah's family. So Noah's Ark is one of the best examples of natural evil. And why such kinds of flood happened to the human history? Because humans are so evil. So God wanted to show the justice. God wanted to show his righteousness. That's why he removed all human beings. Only Noah's family, 8 persons, they survive. And according to the Bible, Noah's family, they are righteousness, they following God. That's why. Sometimes, yeah, natural evil, natural disaster is deeply related to God's justice, power, and wrath. Those kinds of things are made known through the existence of evil. So definitely there is a natural evil, okay, natural disaster, our vocabulary. God has a purpose of evil, just as in Pharaoh's case. What happened to Egypt when long time ago? Yeah, Israel, by the leadership of Jacob, they entered the land of the Egypt, and unfortunately, a little bit later, all Israel people actually become the slave in Egypt. And for 400 years later, God called Moses, and God delivered the Israel people out of Egypt. And before doing that, God actually performed 10 disasters. Okay, so what is the 10th? 10th disaster. God actually killed the firstborn son in all family. Okay, that's actually one kind of natural disaster, natural evil. Why? God showed His justice. God showed His righteousness. So that's why sometimes God is using natural evil. So the third thing is supernatural evil. As I said, most actually philosophers, they disagree. They disagree the existence of evil spirit. But definitely Christians, and according to the Bible, there is evil spirit in the Bible. Okay, so from where did the evil come from? Actually, according to the good actually scholar, Christian scholar called C.S. Lewis. Maybe if you are Christians, actually you heard of his name, C.S. Lewis. He's an extremely famous guy. Okay, and according to him, evil exists. According to the book of Revelation, the last book of the Bible, chapter 12, his tail swept away a third of the star of the heaven. So that means they are around 33% of the angels actually they tempted by Lucifer, and 33% of angels actually they become bad angels. Okay, so in the beginning, in the old time, long time ago, actually there is one angel level against God, and he become the Lucifer. Maybe you heard of the name of Lucifer. So whenever there is a movie called dealing with the evil spirit, and the captain, the general in evil spirit is called Lucifer. Okay, there definitely there is Lucifer, and around 30% angels followed him, and they become fallen angels. And according to the Bible, definitely there is evil spirit. As soon as Jesus Christ came to this world, and he started casting, expelled, thrown out the evil spirit. Sometimes evil spirit entered the body of a human, and human is possessed by the evil spirit, and they get sick, and they have a nightmare, and bad thing happen to them. So Jesus Christ actually cast out, okay, removed the evil spirit from the person. So according to the Bible, okay, according to the Bible, why there is such a evil thing happen to me? So why I have a cancer? Even though I'm vegetarian, and I'm so good at eating, and but suddenly I got the cancer, stomach cancer, or other part there is a cancer cell growing in my body. Why such a thing happen? Okay, but according to the Bible, definitely you have a bad habit, you drink a lot of alcohol, and you smoke a lot, and you have a bad habit, maybe definitely you can get the cancer. But if you are doing at your eating, and you never drinking, and you never smoke, but you got the cancer, why such a bad thing happened to me? So one of the answer is the supernatural evil. Okay, evil spirit enter your body and bring a lot of disease. Yeah, in Europe and in the USA, maybe the more actually culture developed, they rejecting the existence of evil spirit. Okay, that's right. But still in third world, like the Africa and Latin America, many people actually still believe in the existence of evil spirit, and but they don't know how to expel it. But according to the Bible, by the power of the Holy Spirit, by the name of Jesus Christ, you can expel the evil spirit. So according to the C.S. Lewis, there are two equal and opposite errors into which our race can fall about the devils. Devil definitely they exist. Number one is to disbelieve in their existence. That means modern people, they rejecting the existence of evil spirit. Definitely according to the Bible, there is an evil spirit. Okay. One of the reasons why I become a Christian is that I witnessed that there is evil spirit. But as I know, most Americans, most Europeans, they reject the existence of evil spirit. How about you? And second is the other to believe and to feel is excessive and unhealthy interesting in him. So that's why there is so many devil worshiper. Okay, they worship devil. Okay, definitely I believe before being a Christian, I rejecting this reason, supernatural evil. I never believed such a thing, supernatural evil. But after being a Christian, I am accepting actually there is a supernatural evils. Theotokos or theodice, that means the evil is not a substance but a variation in substance. Definitely, yeah. If there is God actually try to help the good person and he try to punish the evil. That called actually theodicy. Okay, theodicy. God rule over the world, and he tried to help the good person, but he tried to punish the evil person. Okay, that called theodicy. And usually it is said darkness is the absence of light. Yeah. Daytime we can see each other well, but as soon as the sunset, actually it becomes dark. Dark means absence of light. But as we know, in the dawn, early the morning, sun arise, and everything actually we can see each other. Okay, and the sickness is the absence of health. Definitely, why we become the sick? Okay, because we are not healthy. Okay, but if you actually keep exercising, eating regularly, and rejecting alcohol and the tobacco, and you become healthy. Okay, but sickness is the absence of the health, and hate is the absence of the love. Yeah, unfortunately, our life is full of darkness, sickness, and hate. Even though we should follow the light, health, and love, but unfortunately, how about you? Through whole your life, do you experience any bad thing, any crime in your life? Yeah, until living this age, frankly speaking, through my whole life, there is so many bad things happen to me. It seems like there is more evil person than a good person. That's my experience. Sometimes I should talk my son, don't trust anybody. Wow. Why? Through my life, I witnessed that people try to cheating each other. They try to have more thing than actually they deserved. Okay. They try to kill, they try to hate, they try to lie, they try to save more money than sometimes they steal my money, and unfortunately, it is extremely hard to find good person in this world. But as we see, theodicy means they are control everything. So yeah, even though today this topic is extremely hard to deal with, and the problem evil is extremely hard, and maybe you can still raise your question why bad thing happened to me even though I'm a good person. Maybe you can raise that question. But the answer is that God did not create evil. Mostly evil, moral evil. Okay, that depends on human freedom. Okay, human free will. And even in modern day, many natural disaster is also related to the human effort. And even there is evil spirit. God never created Satan. God created angel with a good purpose, but angels, human being has a free will. Okay, but unfortunately they rejecting God and they turn to the dark side. So that's why God never, ever, he did not create the evil. And why there is, but unfortunately angels and human beings actually they choose evil. And that's why sometimes we agree that we are not perfect. Okay, suffering and evil is an imperfection, and the vindication of the divine attribute, holiness, justice in establishing or allowing the existence of physical and moral evil. Yeah, we totally agree there is because of the human free will. Actually, there is so many moral evil. Even terrorism is moral evil. Okay, and we agree with that. But sometimes God allows suffering and evil. That's why I'm explaining about Noah's Ark with the God's actually free will. Okay, but we must know about that according to the Bible. The first book, the first Peter, chapter 5. God of the all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you to make you strong, firm, and steadfast. There is some purpose of the suffering. Sometimes through the suffering, bad thing happened to me. Because of that reason, I'm looking toward God, okay? Frankly speaking. Whenever there is good thing happen to me, usually I forget about God. But sometimes bad thing happen to me, and I cannot solve the problem, and I suffering because of that reason. Sometimes I turn to God. Okay. Another actually scripture reading, First Peter chapter 4. So if you are suffering, keep on doing what is right, trust your right to the God who created you, for he will never fail you. So God is good. Even though he training, he testing, he provides some suffering to you, but there is good will of God in that region. Okay. Even though, yeah, I cannot solve the problem of the evil and suffering, but according to the Bible, and I know that God has good intention. Sometimes to be a good soldier, we need hard training, okay? Hard training. Hard training, it brings us the pain, suffering. But after finishing hard training, we can be a good soldier. It is exactly the same. So we should not misunderstand the will of God. Thanks to listen to my lecture, and see you next time. Thank you.